You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Alright, good evening. I got a X-Force here, and I'd have to go back and look, but I think I remember seeing the video of this. BBI's worked on it, and I think I've seen him change the heat sink in it, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's the one he changed the heat sink in. But it's running pretty good. It had a transistor out in it. This transistor here got so hot that the top popped off of it, and of course it burned it up. And then the 2-pill section here, the driver, this is 2 and this is 8 here, so this is separate. This is a 2-pill that's driving these, and it's staged. And so I put another Toshiba in it, put HG for the drivers because didn't have any more Toshibas. They're getting hard to get. And when I got it up and running, in the 8-pill section, it was the reflect in the 8-pill section was up kind of high. Now I don't probably this wasn't even out of tune when it was all Toshibas. When you change something else changes in the circuit of it sometimes. Very few and seldom times I get one in it. You just pop pills in it and everything's exactly the way it was before. You have to do a little massaging to it most of the time. I know that don't seem right, but it's what it acts like. But I added like 60 more puff here on the 8-pill section of it when and the reflect came down on when you go in when you're in 8-pill mode. The 2-pill mode, the 2 driving 8 was fine, but when you went to 8-pill mode, the reflect back to the radio was like 3 watts or so, and it seems to be doing really good now. Of course, this is iron core. You see all these transformers, it's iron core and all these wires and everything. This is running on voltage, so 21 volts or so. I'm hoping these HDs are going to stand it. I don't see why not. I've done it before and it worked out pretty good, but that could be the maybe the downfall again. I don't know, but like I said, we don't have I don't have HGs to Toshibas to put back in here for drivers. I only got like 3 more Toshibas, and the guy that brought this in had these 2 HGs, and that's what got put in it. If you can catch that by that. But it seems to be running good now, and that's all I had to do was, like I said, add a little bit of capacitance there, and put the transistors in it. And I was initially going to take this out of it and make it a straight 2x8 because it was having trouble with the tune. Well, once I got it up and running, I messed around with it, and it just clicked. Just looking pretty good. It's a big mess in here. If you have to get in here and work on it, for say if you had to get in here and change out some of them bridge rectifiers, it's going to be a nightmare. But now with these HP switchers, all this could be ripped out and you could put like 3 of those switches in and it'd pull the shit out of it. This is on 110, but yeah. So it's got a lot of stuff on the front. It's got a high and low for the fans, evidently. It's got sideband delay on it. It's got a preamp in it. It's got the on and off switch to turn the power supply on. It's got the operate and standby, and of course the 2 in the 8-pill mode. If it was me, I'd low drive it with a radio, say a Cobra 29, something no more than do 30 watts, and then leave it in a 2-pill, driving 8 section and go there. But I wouldn't try to run like a striker radio into the 8-pill section and run it like that, because sooner or later somebody's going to go by and hit the switch, or you're going to do something and then you're going to run that striker into the 2-pill and then blow that out and blow some of these out. That might have been, may have happened. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So we'll show it up and running. It says a 2500 watt slug here, running this meter here. This is reflect back from the antenna. This is reflect back to the radio. And we'll go in peak. So this is going to be in peak. You're going to be reading that top scale. So with a 2500 watt slug, you read the 25 watt scale, which it'll be 2500 watt. So if you change this and put 1000, you read the bottom. And if you put like a 50, or 50, a 500, a 5000, a 50,000, whatever it is in the 5 range, you read in the middle range. If you change this and put a 1 watt, 10 watt, 100 watt, 1000 watt, you read the bottom section. And if you put in here and put 25, 250, 2500, you're going to be reading the top scale on your meter. So if you don't know how to read one, there's a crash course in reading a bird watt meter. It all determines what slug you got in. So this is 2500, so you're going to read the top scale. So this is in the 8-pill mode. You want this meter to be as low as possible, because that's what's going back to your radio. You don't want it to burn up your radio. That's the reason we tune this out. You reflect back from your antenna. That would be this was going out the antenna, but if anything comes back, this is in reverse mode, 50 watt slug. If it's just you reading that middle scale, so you want this as low as you can possibly get it, because you want everything going out the antenna. You want everything going this way instead of stuff coming back this way. And when it comes back that way with this slug, if it comes back, it goes into the amplifier, starts heating the amplifier up. It's not getting out of it. Is what I'm trying to say. So, alright. So I'm going to start out in the 8-pill mode. And this was the part that was, it was about 3 watts of reflect. So now, so it's 1000 watts with about a half a watt reflect. It was over here about 3. And like I said, I added 60 more puff over here and it went down. So that's your 1000. I'm gonna go to a 2x8. Now this is a 2 and the 8 running it, so you don't need a driver. That was just radio hitting it, doing 1000. And like I said, this is on voltage, so I'm pretty sure with these transformers that's in it, that it's it's got a decent amount of voltage to it. I can check it, but I'm gonna say it's probably pulling down to maybe 18 volts or so. So there you go. And then again, People say things won't work. They use all type 61, this, that, and the other, but if you can see what I see here, now it would be a guess, but I think it would be a good educated guess that this is 43 and this is 61, and then the combiners, 4-pill combiner, that looks like a 43. It's nice and shiny, like these beads here. 43, 43, 43, 43. Now this is Toshiba, but I mean, I've heard so many people say that use nothing but 61, nothing but 61, nothing but 61. But I mean, when you get to working on stuff and it comes down to you, you don't know who's worked on it, this, that, and the other. I've seen stuff that's, they say will not run, and it's been running for years, before it even got down here. And it would be with something that was just that I wouldn't put in it, but it had been running. So leave it with that. But yeah, seeds have been running fine now. So I'm gonna leave it at this. Like I said, I was gonna take all this out of it, but now I'm gonna leave it in it. Less work, less time, less money. If you can fix it and let it run, let it run. And this guy's local. Well, not too local, about 2.5 hour drive, but still, he's up around Statesville. So, yeah, I can take this back to the break for him and have it done for a lot less money and a lot less work for me. I got plenty to do, and I don't want to have to do no more. Don't want to charge no more than I have to, and let it go. These here hook up to the fan. It's got voltage regulators for them, since it's putting out more voltage than what would run the fans. My thought on that is most time I try to put 24 volt fans in it, but maybe they didn't have the access to a 24 volt fan then. Looks like that screw right there is a little loose in that board, but it just mounts to the heat sink. This one here looks loose. That one there looks loose. This one here looks a little loose. Tighten all that down. It's pretty stout. But that could have vibrated and loosened up through travel. I don't know. Don't really matter. Like I said, that's only holding the board to that. But yeah. I guarantee you that's not copper. I bet that's CCA, copper clad aluminum wire all over here. All over here. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to solder that down a little bit. That looks a little iffy. This here, it's tight, but we can solder that back down while we got it here. But everything looks pretty much normal. 270, 270, 330, 330, 330, 330, 330, 1000, 1000, 1000, 1000, 1000. I'm guessing that's a 150 or 120 and 150 or 120. 3 and 3 wraps. 2 to 1 on the combiners and splitters. Here 2 to 1. There 2 to 1. Yeah. Everything looks pretty much just like a Toshiba. This right here would get me confused. That's the reason I don't do them. I don't really understand it a whole lot. I can figure it out, but I don't really want my brain to hurt that much. But yeah, Seems to be running good. I don't think it's nothing that anybody's done to it. Caused the problem. Just shit happens. But let's leave it at that. And it's ready to go back. Seems to be doing good. Alright then. Y'all have a good day. Later.